How's it going, everybody? Atomic Moon back from one of my patented hiatuses from making content, but I am back today with a very special video that I'm very excited about. You know, product review videos and unboxing videos seem to do pretty well on YouTube, and just like every other content creator, I am desperate for those views and those likes. By the way, if you haven't yet, subscribe, like, give me a comment. I finally made the plunge and ordered a new camera, which is something I've been wanting to do for forever. Right now, I'm recording with my Logitech C920, 929, I forget what the model is. But this thing has been really pissing me off lately over the last few months. You can kind of see how jittery it is. And the other day, it reverted itself back to like just a generic driver instead of like a driver that's, I don't know. Long story short, I wanted to get a new camera to start making some better quality photos and better quality film type projects. And I think that this Canon M50 is what I ordered, and I think this is going to be a significant upgrade over my current camera situation. This is the box that the camera was shipped to me on. I ordered this on eBay. I haven't used eBay in a while. I used to use eBay all the time whenever it first came out, you know, like 12, 14 years ago. And eBay used to be like the place for independent sellers. You know, it's not just used stuff. It's wholesalers and people that sell new stuff. I mean, I bought most of the stuff that I bought on eBay is brand new. Nowadays, Amazon has kind of taken over the marketplace as far as individual sellers being able to sell on there. But eBay is still a great tool, and I was able to get a really, really good price for the package that includes the camera, a couple of lenses, and a couple of other accessories. So I'll be linking where the shop I actually bought this camera from. Like I said, it was the best price I could find by far. And yeah, they extremely fast on the shipping. They shipped it out a couple of days after, or not a couple of days, a couple of hours after I ordered it, and gave me free 2-day shipping. So this thing, I ordered it at the end of last week. And even with the July 4th holiday weekend, it's Tuesday now, and it still got here. So I did open the box when I first got it because it seemed pretty light, and I was kind of freaking out. And so I just opened it and saw that at least the camera was in there. This is how it came. This is how it was shipped, and it's a little bubble wrap in here. Like I said, I got a package with some of the accessories. This seems to be the camera itself. Now that I'm actually holding the camera, it seems about the right weight. It's the camera body with the zoom lens on there. I'll take that out here in just a second. A carrying case, which will come in handy when I need to transport it. Looks like a card reader, which will be pretty handy, even though I already have a card reader. Mini table. Oh, so this is the mini tabletop. Tabletop tripod is actually in this little tiny bag, but it'll be fine for literally putting it on your desktop. It was one of those things that the picture online, you couldn't really tell how big the tripod was, but I guess it's going to be like tiny. But that's fine. I've got plenty of tall tripods, and honestly, I've been needing one that I can just put on my desk. This is really the main reason I got this package, is because it includes a wide angle lens, as well as a telephoto lens, which is used for to get some extra zooming out of your lens. So that'll be fun to mess around with. Memory card. I've already actually ordered a ton of memory cards a couple of weeks ago. Some cleaning cloths, which is good. A little adapter to be able to use a different lens with it. Looks like a little tiny strap, as well as some different colored lenses, or different lenses to use in different kind of lighting scenarios, as far as indoor, outdoor, sunset, that kind of thing. And that is it. Box is empty, and I've got all of these goodies to go through. I really just want to see how how small this tripod is real quick. Yeah, this is a really small tripod. Look how cute it is. No, I think it'll be fine for just being able to sit on a desktop. That's so funny, because I thought it would at least be like maybe a foot long. I didn't know it was going to be quite this small, but it is what it is. I'll use it. Here is the actual box that the camera and the lens is in. Everything appears to be in order. There's a pretty sizable manual, but I mean, there's just a bunch of, you can see all the different languages that are in this manual. That's like the most languages I've ever seen in a manual. There's like 15 different languages. That's crazy. Okay, so it does come with a little strap, and here is the actual camera body, and bam. I've got to say, this camera is a little bit smaller than I kind of thought it would be. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I was maybe expecting a little bit of a bulkier camera. I think it's mainly because the only cameras I've ever really used like this over the past 10 years or so are like the older style ones. Like my dad had one, and you know, they were a lot bulkier back then. So this is like really much more compact than I thought it would be, and it's really lightweight. I mean, I think if I'm planning on eventually maybe getting a gimbal or something I can hold the camera with, so I think I'd potentially for video, I think it would be nice to use this just because of how lightweight it is. Okay, there's that. Got some sort of power cord. I think judging by how many languages are on the manual, they're trying to make this power cord as universal as possible. It's like a battery charging station, as well as a lens, and here is my battery. We're going to see if this is actually charged. The batteries for this camera is pretty small, pretty lightweight. So let me go and try to put this in. See if there's actually any charge on this. I'm sure they're probably charged. There we go. And here is the zooming lens that it came with. So a quick thing that I'll mention is that I kind of got excited over the last few days and started watching some tutorial videos on how to use this camera, and I found a really great 2-hour. It's 2 hours long, but oh my god, there's so much information in that video that really prepared me. Like, if I hadn't watched that video, and I know as soon as I turn this camera on, if I hadn't watched that video, I would be so lost. So I'm really glad that I watched it before this came in. So now I need to find out how to... There's a cap that's actually on the body, so I'm going to take that off to expose the actual lens. And now I'm going to put this zooming lens on. I don't know if that's exactly what you call it. I'm very much a novice when it comes to cameras. Case in point, there's actually a cap that goes on that side of the lens, and now I should be able to pop this on here. This particular lens has a little lock on it, so this will help me guide where I need to put the lens on to mount it to the body, and then once it's on there, I'll need to unlock it to be able to... Okay, I think I was mounting it backwards. Okay. Once again, guys, okay. It's my first time owning a camera like this, so... Okay, so like I said, there's a little white dot right there, a little white dot right there, and this is just going to click, snap on, and let me see if I can turn this camera on. So it's got a cool screen. This side will actually has like a texture to it, so you can close it without having your screen exposed, so that's really cool. So I'm just going to flip this out, and you can't really read it too well, but I'm going to flip this around and put it snugly back in place. So that's really cool. So when you're not using it, you can flip it around and be able to store it in your bag or whatever. And it's asking me to set my time, date, and zone. You can't really see, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. So I'm going to set this camera up really quickly, and then mount it to this this tremendously adequate tripod. Okay, guys, so I actually looked in the box again and saw another box that I didn't see earlier. Always check your boxes before you throw anything away. And this one This is the actual tripod that I thought the other one was. So this did come with the actual tripod that I was thinking it was going to come with, and hell yeah, this is going to be great. So next time you see me should be on the actual on the M50. Okay, so here it is in all of its glory. I set up the video mode, and I am recording right now at 1080p at 25 frames. Here in just a second, I will switch over to the 4K because you can actually record in 4K on this camera. But in order to compare it to how the Logitech looked, I decided to do a 1080p straight from the camera. And so yeah, so this is 1080p at 25 frames. You can go up to 4K with 25 frames per second. You can do 1080, I believe, at 50 frames per second, and then they also have a 120 frames per second mode that can only record at 720, but that's also an option that you have. So there's a lot of recording options for video. I'm using the onboard camera microphone, so not my luxurious SM7B that I typically record on, but probably the first one of the first upgrades I'll probably get for this camera will be an external microphone that I can plug into the camera and hopefully get some better audio with. Whenever I was mentioning earlier about the European plug, I thought that maybe there would be some sort of an adapter, or maybe like that end would plug into the charger, but it turns out that that's like the charger that they sent. The battery was a little bit charged, but it was kind of running low, so I threw it on the charger for a little bit. But obviously this two-prong will not work in my outlets that I have here in Texas. But luckily I had a charger for my printer. This plug, I happen to have one, and it was compatible with this battery charger. But if I hadn't had this cable, then I would have been SOL. I would have had to gone and gone out and bought one of those cables so that I'd be able to charge my battery. But not a big deal, considering how good of a deal I got on this package. And the only other qualm I would have is, I don't know if I just overlooked it, but I thought there was an external flash included in the package. But it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna have to. This camera has onboard flash, so I'll be able to use an onboard flash for the time being if I need to, but basically an external microphone and an external flash are probably going to be two things that I'm going to be buying very soon for this camera. Everything else I'm really happy about. I think the deal that I got on this is very, very, very good, and I'm very excited to start making some videos and some photos with this camera. So what I want to do is, you have this example video of me talking right now from the camera. I'm going to switch it over to 4K, and then hopefully get, I'd like to take this outside and get some pictures, but it's raining today, so maybe it'll clear up a little bit in the afternoon and I'll be able to get some actual pictures. Please bear in mind that this is my first camera like this that I've ever owned. This isn't a DSLR camera. This is actually a mirrorless camera, which is kind of a different classification, but I personally don't, having not really had an experience with DSLR cameras, then I wouldn't really know the difference. Yeah, I'm just very, very excited. So right now I'm just using kind of automatic focus settings and things like that. If you watch the video, the 2-hour-long video that I'm going to link to, then he gets really in depth about the different modes as far as shutter speeds and light exposure and things that I had no idea about when it comes to taking pictures. So I learned a ton from watching that video, and I'm sure I'm going to be learning more and more the more that I use this camera. So right now I'm going to switch it over to 4K mode, and we're going to be able to notice how drastic of a change. Now, I'm not going to be uploading this video in 4K. I'm going to be uploading this video in 1080p. So you'll be watching it in 1080p, but we'll see how the image in the video changes when I'm recording at 4K compared to recording at 1080p. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So first thing, I can't really tell. I mean, it looks like it's better quality, but I won't really be able to tell until I go and edit it. But this looks like well, the first thing that happens is, I guess when you switch to 4K, the zoom settings kind of change, and so therefore the image is more zoomed in a little bit just on the camera itself. Like if I basically I have the camera zoomed out as far as it'll go right now, but the shot itself is a little bit tighter. But cool. I guess whenever this is edited, hopefully I'll be able to really tell the differences. Of course, 4K is going to take up a lot more memory space compared to 1080p, so it's going to be one of those things about comparing how much card room you have and whatnot. So this is what 4K looks like, and I'm going to try to probably put some photos there at the very end of this video, but for anybody that's watching this video, this is just like a simple unboxing video and kind of a first use type thing, and I'm going to be pretty much, when you see my content from here on out on my YouTube, I'm probably going to be using this camera quite a bit. So very excited to get to know this camera and get familiarized with it, and thank you everybody for checking this video out. If you own this camera, if you're interested in this camera, if you have any questions, let me know. Give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscription. Really helps me out, guys. Anyway, my name's Atomic Moon. Thank you guys for joining me today, and I will catch you guys later.